We meet our boy Sekai, a certified shut-in living in a mountain of trash. Someone's still leaving him food with cute notes, enabling this whole lifestyle. The one day he decides to touch grass, he walks into a convenience store robbery. He sees the cashier held at knife point and realizes he's seen her before. Turns out it's his old college crush, and she is absolutely terrified. The dormant simp instincts activate, and my man decides he's a hero now. A flashback confirms he was just a background NPC she never even noticed. His genius plan is to just go feral and scream at the top of his lungs. He charges the robber and immediately gets himself stabbed for his troubles. The crush is crying for him to run while he's bleeding out with a psycho grin. His crush makes a run for it while Sekai's on the floor, thinking it's all good. Our boy's fading out, thinking his life was worth it to save someone. And boom, he's in the isekai waiting room with a giant goddess. The goddess hits him with the "Unfortunately you have died" welcome message. Then she hits him with the ultimate L. He died for absolutely nothing. But hey, she says his pointless act of simping was still pretty commendable. She's basically calling his death a feel-good story about a loser's 1W. The goddess pulls up the receipts on his empty life as a background character. Our boy just accepts the fact that his entire existence was mid. He admits his life was garbage, and she's like, "Oops, sorry for reminding you." The goddess hits him with the classic "I have an offer for you" pitch. She asks if he wants a do-over in another world, but my man's still processing. Sekai's weeb brain finally kicks in, and he immediately starts begging for the isekai treatment. She's so impressed she offers him one cheat skill to start his new life. His mind immediately flashes back to the moment he got absolutely folded. He's thinking if he just had a little more power, he wouldn't have died so pathetically. Our boy screams that he wants to be so strong that getting stabbed is just a flesh wound. The goddess is like, "Deal," and fires up the Reincarnation magic circle. And just like that, our boy gets the full isekai glow-up before he's even landed. He's fading into his new life, already thinking about transcending humanity. Sekai wakes up in his new life, except he's a damn plant. He realizes the goddess took his unkillable body wish a little too literally. And his first day on the job involves almost getting stomped out. We meet the local bully, a smug bastard talking trash to some kids. The kid he's picking on, Alto, is just taking the abuse on the ground. The bully tells Alto to know his place and die like a peasant. Sekai's plant form is in agony, feeling the pain from the near stomp. But kind boy Alto ignores his own pain to check on the little plant. This kid's so pure he's worried about a random weed getting hurt again. He builds a whole ass fence to protect plant Sekai from future stomps. Sekai is just chilling in his new VIP section, courtesy of kind boy Alto. Alto walks off, and our boy is having a full-on emotional breakdown over this kid's kindness. My man's literally glowing, vowing to repay this debt like he's in a shonen anime. And just like that, his only friend in this entire world is gone. Then the sun decides to show up and choose absolute violence. Our boy's unkillable body is already getting folded by a little heat. He realizes being a plant means he's about to die of thirst. What a great power-up. Just as he's about to become plant jerky, a wild slime appears. This little blob is just staring him down, looking suspiciously like a starter mob. The slime walks up and starts watering him? Okay. This world is weird. Sekai's worried the little blob is sacrificing its own body just to water him. The slime is just making cute noises, completely unbothered and happy to help. Our boy is getting emotional again, thanking the slime for saving his leafy ass. He starts glowing and makes another shonen vow, this time for his new slime bro. Sekai hits the slime with some kind of holy light buff as a thank you gift. So the slime starts a routine, coming back every few days to keep him hydrated. Turns out the little guy has a secret refill station at a nearby pond. We see the slime slurping up water, putting in the work on the night shift. Then a random flash of light goes off while he's getting a drink. And just like that, the slime bro gets a massive level up and is now huge. The slime bro is just happy that his plant friend is thriving now. So the newly buffed slime bounces off to go check on his leafy buddy. Meanwhile, we cut to some remote village with a church on a cliff. Inside, a priest is explaining a coming-of-age ceremony for getting skills. And look who it is, our boy Alto is in line for his skill reveal. Kind boy Alto is hyped, dreaming about what awesome power he's gonna get. But of course the same bully from before shows up to ruin the mood. This trash bag Gilbert says a loser like Alto won't get anything good. Alto ignores the hater and steps up to the altar for his turn. The priest tells him to check his new skill in front of the whole village. Hindboy Alto touches the magic rock and immediately starts glowing. He pulls a UR skill with buffs so broken it looks like a cheat code. The whole village is hyped, and some girl is already congratulating him. The priest is absolutely losing his mind, having never seen a skill this busted. The entire church erupts. celebrating like their boy just won the lottery. Even his parents are in the crowd, crying tears of joy for their son's W. Trash bag Gilbert is seething in the corner, promising he'll pull something better. And my man pulls a common N skill for woodcutting, LMAO. With the ceremony over, everyone starts heading out of the church. A new girl runs up to Alto, asking if he's gonna dip to be an adventurer now. Kind boy Alto is telling the new girl, Beatrice, that he's not sure he can be an adventurer. Beatrice hits him with the ultimate hype, saying he's got a UR skill, so of course he can. And with that little bit of encouragement, my man is fully on board with his new career path. He looks at the mark on his hand, realizing his skill is the divine protection of the world tree. Alto puts 2 and 2 together, guessing that the little plant he saved was the world tree. They both just stare off into the distance, probably in the direction of our boy plant Sekai. And boom, we get a 20-year time skip montage of Alto becoming a legendary adventurer. After 2 decades on the job, the legend retires and finally returns to his home village. Now he's a full-on dad carrying his kid and still thinking about that world tree skill. He tells his kid that the world tree must have blessed him, passing on the legend. His wife, who looks a lot like Beatrice, tells him to be nice to the world tree. Kind boy Alto is thinking about that little fence he built 20 years ago. He tells his family to go on ahead, he's got to go see his leafy bro. His kid, Jill, runs off towards the village, hyped to see the legendary tree. Meanwhile, our boy plant Sekai has had a 20-year growth spurt into a small tree. The kid finds the tree and wonders why its growth seems to have slowed down. He calls him the world tree and our boy is internally like, dude, I'm only 20. The kid sees the old fence and decides to help by tearing the whole thing down. Plant Sekai is having a full-on meltdown as the kid destroys his precious VIP fence. And the kid just starts praying to the tree he just gave a panic attack. The kid is praying to our boy, thanking him for his dad's broken UR skill. Sekai finally connects the dots, realizing this kid looks exactly like young Alto. My man's having a full-on, wait, is this my boy's kid? moment. And of course, the son of the original trash bag, Gilbert, shows up to start shit. This new asshole declares he's gonna use Plant Sekai for sword practice. He calls our boy a nuisance, and Sekai is internally screaming for his life. But Jill, like his father before him, steps up to protect the tree. He's giving a whole speech about how this is the legendary world tree. Trashbag Jr. just laughs in his face, mocking the shabby little tree. So he decides to just fold the kid instead, raising his sword to attack. Trashbag Jr. tries to fold the kid, swinging his sword like a main character, but Jill blocks that weak-ass attack with a wooden club, refusing to back down. And then he just smacks the bully right across the face with the club. Trashbag Jr. is completely stunned that he just got owned by a literal child. The original Trashbag Gilbert shows up to yell, but he's not the only one. Because the legend himself, Kind Boy Alto, has finally arrived on the scene. Gilbert immediately starts bowing and apologizing, knowing he's about to get wrecked. Alto just ignores the trash and praises his son for putting his training to use. They rebuild the fence together, having a wholesome father-son bonding moment. Alto gives our boy Sekai a blessing, and the magic starts flowing again. Our boy is still processing the fact that these villagers think he's the legendary world tree. Life is peaceful again, but my man's complaining that his growth is taking forever. He's just sitting there, bored out of his mind and wondering when the glow-up happens. And just when he's about to die of boredom, a massive blob appears on the horizon. It's his old slime bro, who's apparently been hitting the gym for the last 20 years. Sekai finally recognizes his first friend, who's gotten absolutely huge since they last met. The slime bro is back on watering duty, but this time he brought backup. Turns out my man started a whole family and brought the kids to help out. The entire slime squad starts blasting him with water like a fire department. Our boy is just thankful he'll never have to worry about being thirsty again. Sekai is now 3 meters tall, still a sapling. Slow and steady, I guess? A wild wolf appears, looking kinda lost. New character alert. Sekai wonders if the wolf is friendly. Don't trust it, bro. Sekai's been chilling for years, still just vibing as a tree. The wolf is back and seems curious about Sekai. Here we go again. The wolf sniffs Sekai's leaves. Is this how trees make friends? The wolf bites Sekai. I knew it. Never trust wild animals. The wolf is in pain. Looks like Sekai isn't as defenseless as he looks. The wolf howls in pain and runs away. Serves him right. The wolf is back, apologizing to Sekai. This world is weird, man. Our boy Sekai notices he's had another random growth spurt out of nowhere. He realizes it's because of the gift the wolf left behind for him. Turns out the wolf's apology was a magic-infused, nutrient-rich power turd. My man is actually grateful for getting fertilized by a random wolf. He hits the wolf with another blessing, paying it forward as always. And of course, the wolf comes back with a full-on evolution. The newly buffed wolf brings his whole squad to apologize for biting him. Sekai realizes his blessing gave the wolf a massive intelligence boost. Our boy is just like, no worries, you actually helped me grow. So the wolf offers him a dead rabbit as a proper apology gift. The wolf squad just dropped off a whole pile of monster corpses for him. The evolved wolf tells his pack this is way better fertilizer than their poop. The whole pack bows down, offering the monster buffet as a formal apology. Our boy is absorbing all that sweet magic energy and getting another power-up. So now the wolves have a routine of bringing him monster corpses to eat. Time passes, and my man's tree is now home to other weird creatures. He's now a 7-meter-tall unit, but some villagers with axes just rolled up. Sakai's just thinking about how far he's come from being a tiny sapling. He recognizes the villagers are from Alto's town, led by some old dude. Our boy is wondering what they want, ready to help. Bro, they have axes. The old dude gives the signal, and some lumberjack is ready to chop our boy down. This buff dude steps up to swing, but a giant spider appears on the trunk. My man's not even hesitating, he's swinging that axe with full force. The wolf and the spider are screaming for him to stop, but it's too late. And just in time, the wolf squad pulls up looking for a fight. The lumberjack crew is completely surrounded and absolutely terrified. The evolved wolf is giving them the death stare, daring them to make a move. The villagers are sweating, realizing they just messed with the wrong tree. Our boy Sekai realizes his wolf bros are here to save his woody ass. The evolved wolf tells the old dude to back off, and he's losing his mind. The lumberjack crew gets run off by the wolf squad, screaming for forgiveness. The evolved wolf is just glad his tree bro is safe after that close call. The old dude thanks the wolves but is still thinking about that sturdy tree. This old man was literally waiting for our boy to get bigger to chop him down. The crew just moves on, looking for an easier, less protected tree to chop. And of course, a wild imp appears, looking like it's about to start some shit. Our boy hits another growth spurt and is now a 9-meter unit with fruit. And he's finally bearing fruit, which looks suspiciously like a power-up. Our boy has no idea what this fruit does, and he can't even eat it himself. The slime bro pulls up with his kid, hyped to see the tree's progress. Our boy is thanking his slime bro for the daily hydration service. He decides to drop one of his new power-up fruits as a tip. The fruit drops and the whole slime family is checking out the goods. Slime bro immediately slurps up the mystery fruit without a second thought. The slime is absolutely vibing, sparkling like he just ate a rare candy. And just like last time, the slime starts glowing for another evolution. And boom, my man just evolved into a goddamn king slime, cape and all. The new king slime is already calling him World Tree Sama, like a true believer. He thanks our boy for the fruit of evolution, and Sakai realizes what he's growing. So now he's just handing out evolution fruits to the wolf squad too. The wolf squad starts munching on the evolution fruits our boy dropped. This one wolf is absolutely vibing, feeling the magic kick in immediately. And boom, the whole pack starts evolving into jacked up werewolves. One of them even evolves into a full-on anime wolf girl. Of course, the newly evolved squad is looking at our boy, wondering what just happened. The wolf girl connects the dots, realizing it was the world tree's fruit. The leader decides they're moving in to get that sweet divine protection buff, but the wolf girl points out that 4 of them can't properly guard the tree. So the leader's plan is to go back and bring the entire wolf clan over. He bows to our boy Sekai, promising to repay him for the massive W. The wolf girl points out that everyone's already calling him the world tree. The leader admits our boy's grown, but he's still a shrimp compared to other trees. But he still says our boy's got that big world tree energy, hyping him up. Some time passes and a whole-ass religious cult shows up with a sick old dude. Their leader, the priest, looks like he's about to check out permanently. Our boy Sakai is just watching, noticing this sketchy group and their dying leader. One of the cult kids spots the evolution fruits and gets a bright idea. He grabs a fallen fruit and slices it up, ready to play doctor.
The kid tries to feed the old priest a slice, hoping for a miracle.
The old man takes a bite, probably not expecting much from a random apple. And the old priest gets a full-on glow-up looking like he just de-aged 30 years. He immediately declares our boy is the sacred tree from his church's prophecy. Now the whole cult is worshipping him, and Sakai is having an internal panic attack. Our boy is just glad he could help, but now he's the mascot for the Eldwitch Church. A few days later, a random lizard monster rolls up to try the evolution fruit. Sakai's realizing his power-up fruits are basically a monster magnet at this point. The lizard eats the fruit and immediately evolves into a jacked-up lizard man. The new lizardman bows, and Sakai's thinking he might have made the fruit too OP. As a thank you, the lizard man offers him a giant glowing magic crystal. He explains it's a dragonite, a rare magic stone that grew inside his body. The new lizard man bows out, promising to come back and pay his respects. Our boy is just staring at the dragonite, thinking it's completely useless to him. He's still wondering where everyone got the idea that he's the world tree. Our boy just accepts the shiny rock, figuring it's the thought that counts. And of course, another old dude shows up asking for a handout. Sekai's just internally like, so that's the play here. This new merchant explains he got betrayed by his crew and left to die. He's thanking our boy for the fruit and the jewel, calling it a divine blessing. The merchant heads off to town, ready to flip his new divine loot. And my man literally wrote a book about it, making the legend official. The merchant is back, showing the priest he got a UR skill from our boy. My man's luck stat literally tripled, and he's got the receipts to prove it. The priest connects the dots, realizing our boy is the tree from their prophecy. The merchant rolls back up with a whole crew, ready to pay his respects. He literally bought the land and hired guards to protect his new leafy god. Sakai's just happy they came back, still clueless about his new cult following. The new guards are putting up a do not chop sign, VIP status confirmed. The merchant's private army is now on permanent patrol duty for our boy. The peace is over as some sketchy cultists try to uproot the whole tree. One of the cultists recognizes the Eldwitch Church's mark, and he is not happy. The merchant's guard tells the sketchy cult to get lost, and they immediately dip. The merchant thanks our boy Sekai, saying he can finally chill in peace. Another time skip, and our boy is now a 10-meter-tall unit in the middle of winter. My man's new problem is that being a tree in the snow is cold as hell. He's also complaining about all the bugs using him as a winter condo. And of course, his new tenants are giant, nightmare fuel centipedes. He's trying to be a good landlord, but a new monster shows up to solve his pest problem. A massive cave spider just rolled up and started eating the creepy crawlies. Our boy knows what it is because he's been eavesdropping on the villagers' gossip. The spider is giving him a full deep clean, and he's just grateful for the free service. Our boy decides to tip the spider with one of his evolution fruits for the free pest control. The spider eats it and immediately gets a glow-up into a forest spider. As a thank you, the spider wraps him in a web blanket to keep him warm. The weather gets even worse, and a full-on blizzard starts rolling in. A whole squad of refugees shows up, running from something deeper in the forest. Turns out it's a whole clan of goblins looking for a place to crash. Sekai's just watching as this goblin family reunion happens at his roots. The goblin leader looks like he's seen some shit, but is still holding it together. He immediately clocks that our boy isn't just some random tree. The goblin leader just decides to build a whole new village right there. Our boy is internally screaming as the goblins decide to build a village at his roots. My man's just realizing he's about to become the town square for a goblin clan. Even the goblin kids are on the construction crew putting in that work. The goblin leader is running the construction site like a seasoned foreman. They're literally building their new homes around him like he's the main attraction. Our boy just accepts his new role as the landlord for a whole goblin village. So our boy decides to help the cause by snapping off one of his own branches. He's like, might as well help the new neighbors move in. What a guy. He drops a whole-ass log right in front of them like a divine lumber delivery. And of course, the goblins think it's a holy sign that their new tree god accepts them. The goblin leader is hyped about the premium lumber delivery from his new tree god. The goblins immediately get to work, carving up the divine branch like master craftsmen. And just like that, they've got a whole new village, declaring it their new home base. The goblin village is officially open for business, built right at our boy's roots. They realize his wood is top tier, way better than any other tree in the forest. Our boy's branch became the goblin chief's house, and he's feeling pretty good about it. Sakai's just watching over his new village, feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. The goblins are throwing a full-on housewarming party to celebrate their new digs. 2 of the goblins are already passed out drunk against his trunk. He's the designated driver. The whole clan rolls up to offer him some goblin moonshine as a thank you gift. Our boy is just vibing after taking a sip of that goblin moonshine. Turns out goblin booze is actually top tier. My man's loving it. The goblin village is thriving, and they've built a whole condo complex in his branches. The goblins are now helping themselves to the evolution fruit buffet. Our boy sees they're struggling for food and drops a power-up fruit for them. This goblin looks way too excited to eat a random piece of fruit. And boom, the goblin leader eats the fruit and evolves into a full-on anime husbando. Even the regular goblins are getting glow-ups and learning to talk now. The whole clan is waving at their tree god, looking more like a village of elves. We get a side-by-side of the glow-up, from goblin to absolute unit. The goblin girls are already looking cute after their glow-up. What a change. My man's fruit literally turned them into a whole new, much hotter species. Even the dudes evolved into jacked-up orc-looking chads carrying logs. And they're already putting that new strength to work, doing some demolition. Our boy is just watching his new tenants throw another rager at his roots. Meanwhile, his other tenant, the giant spider, is just chilling on the porch. The goblins are now sharing the evolution fruits with their spider neighbor. The goblin kids are already making friends with the giant nightmare fuel spider. The spider's even saving some of the fruit for later, like a packed lunch. And of course, the piece is over as the goblin kids spot some new trouble. The spider ate the fruit and got a glow-up into a full-on arachne monster girl. Now that she can talk, she's having a civil conversation with the goblin kids. The new spider queen and the goblin chief are already vibing with each other. They're having a full-on diplomatic meeting to sort out their new living arrangement. Our boy Sekai is just watching all this drama unfold like it's a new TV show. So they worked out a deal. Goblins on the ground floor, spiders in the penthouse. The goblins are paying their rent with that top-tier moonshine they've been brewing. In return, the spiders are hooking them up with custom clothes made from silk. They're even making them fancy bedding, turning this into a proper civilization. The goblins even built the spider queen her own custom treehouse. What a community. The goblin village is now a full-blown town, and our boy is the main attraction. The goblin chief is now a certified husbando named Linda, running the whole operation. We meet the muscle of the operation, Gonzalez, who's built like a brick shithouse. The glow-up even created a best girl, Henri, who's already besties with the spider queen. And of course, there's Curran, who got all the evolution points in one specific area. Our boy Sekai is just watching his little ecosystem thrive, feeling like a proud dad. But not everyone got the glow-up. This old goblin Gobden is still rocking the classic look. The village is looking peaceful at night, a real testament to our boy's landlord skills. But the Goblin Council is having a serious meeting. Looks like there's trouble in paradise. Gonzalez lays it out. They've hunted all the weak mobs and are running out of food. Goblin best girl Henri is stressing because their usual food sources are getting scarce. Our boy realizes he caused this by handing out evolution fruits to every random mob. A wild boar rolls up and immediately starts munching on a power-up fruit. The boar starts glowing, getting the standard evolution buff we've seen a dozen times. And just like that, it evolves into a jacked-up boar man. Another one. Sakai feels guilty for messing up the food chain for his goblin tenants. He's complaining about being a useless tree who can't even help his people. But wait, my man's roots are starting to twitch. Is this a new skill unlock? He focuses and realizes he can actually move his roots like tentacles. Our boy starts whipping his new root arm around, ready to get to work. Our boy's wondering if he can turn his roots into actual food for the goblins. And just like that, my man sprouts a whole-ass radish from his root. Our boy is just as shocked as we are that his dumb idea actually worked. He tries again and just casually sprouts a whole strawberry patch. My man's like, alright, bet, and decides to become a one-tree farm. He starts using his new root powers to spawn a whole vegetable garden. A few days later, he's got a whole-ass farmer's market ready for harvest. The goblin tenants find the divine grocery store and are completely baffled. They immediately realize it's another blessing from their world tree landlord. The whole goblin village is hyped, calling it a miracle from their tree god. One of the goblins immediately starts chowing down on a giant radish. The others are still skeptical, wondering if this random produce is even edible. And they immediately have a full-on foodgasm, screaming about how good it is. They run back to tell the whole village about the miracle food their tree god dropped. The whole village gets to work, turning the divine veggies into a massive stew. That stew is literally sparkling. You know it's about to hit different. The entire Goblin clan is hyped for their first 5-star meal in forever. Even the Goblin Council is shocked that vegetables alone can taste this good. The muscle Gonzalez declares the food crisis officially over, thanks to the new farm. And just like that, the goblins have leveled up from refugees to full-on farmers. The goblins are so grateful they're leaving offerings for their new tree god. The muscle Gonzalez is serving up some divine soup as a thank you. But the piece is over as a goblin runs in screaming someone's missing. Goblin best girl Henri says one of their own got snatched by a rival clan. The muscle Gonzalez is immediately ready to go to war over this. But the goblin chief Linda is trying to be diplomatic. That's a bold strategy. Gonzalez is not about that talk no jutsu and wants to throw hands now. Meanwhile, Henri's just thinking about how she's too cute for this drama. And look who shows up, the Spider Queen is ready to get involved. She's hyped for the rescue mission and is ready to throw down. Goblin Chief Linda is barking orders, telling his crew to assemble the squad. The Goblin Council recruits the Spider Queen, planning to talk first and throw hands later. Our boy Sekai is having a panic attack, wishing he could do more than just watch. The rescue squad rolls out at night, looking like they're about to start a war. The muscle Gonzalez announces their return, but Henri's face says it's complicated. They show up to the rival village and get a surprisingly warm welcome. The rival goblins are on their knees, begging for forgiveness. Okay, what the hell happened? This poor goblin is crying about how they're starving because of all the buffed-up mobs. The muscle is still pissed, but the chief realizes it's because the whole forest leveled up. Goblin best girl Henri explains that the other village is just as screwed as they were. Goblin best girl Henri and the Spider Queen are trying to get the chief to be a good neighbor. Goblin Chief Linda agrees to the merger, saying they could use the extra hands. The goblins celebrate the new alliance the only way they know how, with a rager. The Muscle Gonzalez is blushing hard, looking like he's got a massive crush. Goblin best girl Henri is having a wholesome moment with the Spider Queen. Our boy Sakai realizes these parties are just their way of coping with trauma. The Muscle Gonzalez is walking Henri somewhere after the party, looking serious. The Muscle Gonzalez is completely shook, realizing what's going on. He sees the chief and Henri having a private meeting, and his brain just short-circuits. So the Muscle just grabs Henri and confesses, refusing to let her go. Our boy is just watching the goblin love triangle unfold from his branches. He's basically treating this whole thing like his personal reality TV show. And look who's back. The King Slime and his whole squad are on the scene. The Slime Bro is still on watering duty, giving our boy that premium H2O. Sakai's realizing his whole ecosystem is vibing together for his benefit. Even the goblin kids are cheering on the Slime Squad like it's a sports game. Our boy's just glad his two main crews aren't trying to kill each other. And just when things are peaceful, a random elf kid shows up out of nowhere. Our boy recognizes her as Miyako, but has no idea how she got here. The new girl is already talking to him like he's not a giant-ass tree. The new elf girl Miyako just says she's here for no reason. A likely story. Our boy Sekai is internally screaming, trying to process how she heard him. He's just a tree with a goblin condo complex, not a public broadcast system. My man's having a full-on existential crisis, thinking she actually replied to him. He's asking if she can really hear him, finally getting some hope. And Miyako's just like, yep, and not just your voice either. She can see his damn spirit form, revealing our boy's got a whole avatar. Sekai is completely losing his mind that someone can finally perceive him. He realizes she's special since none of the other goblins can see him. Just then, two more evolved monster girls show up with snacks for the tree god. The new elf girl Miyako says she can hear him, because their magic vibes are on the same frequency. Our boy Sekai is just trying to wrap his head around magic having a damn wavelength. He realizes he's been unconsciously siphoning magic from the goblins, which explains his growth spurt. Miyako connects the dots, figuring out he can only talk to the goblins he's synced up with. Sekai's having a full-on wait I can talk to everyone moment, getting his hopes up. Miyako asks if he wants to talk to everyone, knowing damn well he's been lonely as hell. Our boy's just thinking about how bored he's been, with no one to talk to for decades. Miyako offers to be his official translator, and our boy immediately accepts the job offer. The Muscle Gonzalez rolls up, calling BS and demanding to know if she's for real. Gonzalez challenges our boy to drop a fruit as proof, putting him on the spot. Our boy drops the fruit on command, and the Muscle is absolutely losing his mind. Miyako's like, see, I told you so. And the Muscle is just stunned into silence. The Muscle immediately decides to spread the gospel to the whole damn village. Miyako asks our boy if he's down for a town hall meeting with his tenants. They're like, bet, let's get this show on the road immediately. And just like that, they've built a whole stage for the Talk to God event. The Muscle is on stage hyping up the crowd for their Tree God's Q&A session. He opens the floor, asking if anyone's got questions for their leafy landlord. Miyako's just vibing, ready to be the official divine translator for our boy. Our boy sends out a little light show to let them know he's ready to talk. The first question is about the love triangle, and the Muscle Gonzalez is not ready. Miyako realizes the goblins just made up their own names this whole time. The Muscle is freaking out that their tree god is about to name everyone officially. Miyako asks our boy if he's down to play God and name the whole village. Our boy starts dishing out names, and Miyako translates for the whole crew. The Goblin Chief is hyped about his new name, Linda. My man thinks it's badass. Our boy is just happy they're happy, shaking the whole tree in approval. The rest of the goblins are celebrating getting official names from their god. So they ask again, what's the deal with the Muscle Gonzalez and Henri's love life? And our boy ships them, making Gonzalez blush while Henri is just happy for them. The Goblin Village is now throwing full-on festivals for their tree god landlord. Meanwhile, a new goblin hunter and that boar man are out on patrol. The hunting party is heading back to the village with their latest catch. We meet another one of the evolved goblins. This one's built like a miner. The miner greets the hunter, Benjamin, who got a little scratched up on the job. Benjamin proudly announces he didn't just hunt, he brought back a new recruit. The boar man is just a big lost dude who's happy to have a home now. He explains he got saved by Benjamin and wants to join the goblin village. The miner is hyped, saying they can always use another heavy hitter on the team. And the new boar man recruit is ready to meet the landlord, our boy Sekai. The new Boorman recruit is getting the grand tour of his new home, our boy's roots. The Muscle Gonzalez is explaining that orcs are a rare breed around these parts. Miyako, the new lore master, chimes in that they're not as common as goblins. She then roasts them, saying they're too dumb to form their own squads. The new Boorman is looking sad as hell, probably because his species is getting phased out. But in a fight, these dudes are apparently walking tanks with giant-ass weapons. Miyako admits goblins are smart but get folded by stronger races, so they need allies. Our boy Sekai puts it together. The goblins and orcs team up for mutual survival. The Muscle Gonzalez formally introduces the new guy to Miyako, the official translator. He's already planning to name the new guy Olg, making him an official village member. The translator Miyako is asking our boy if he's cool with the new recruit's name. She confirms the tree god approves, officially welcoming the new Boorman to the squad. Miyako gives the new guy, Olg, the standard welcome package, a name and an evolution fruit. Olg is told the fruit is a welcome gift from the world tree himself. The new guy is just sitting there, humbled by the free power-up from his new landlord. He eats the fruit and immediately starts the mandatory evolution light show. The whole village is watching as my man gets his glow-up, and it's a big one. And boom, he's evolved into a full-on orc lord, thanking everyone for the W. Our boy is just chilling when he spots some new arrivals on the horizon. And look who it is. The wolf squad is back and they brought the whole damn clan. The wolf leader rolls up with his whole clan, saying it's been a minute. He sees the goblin village and is completely baffled by the new construction. My man is absolutely seething, not happy about the new neighbors at all. He starts screaming at the goblins for building a whole town around his tree god. The rest of the wolf squad is backing him up, ready to throw down with the goblins. The goblins realize they've got company, and it looks like a whole lot of trouble. The Muscle Gonzalez steps up, ready to defend his turf from the new arrivals. The new Orc Lord Olg is also ready for a fight, backing up his new goblin bros. Goblin Chief Linda tells the wolf squad to get lost. This is their village now. Our boy Sekai is having a panic attack, realizing he's got to stop this turf war. Our boy tries to shake his branches to stop the fight, but it's not working. He's dropping leaves like crazy, but his tenants are too busy posturing to notice. The translator Miyako finally gets the message and is ready to intervene. She yells down at Goblin Chief Linda to get his crew to stand down. The wolf leader tells the muscle to chill, relaying the tree god's orders. The goblin squad finally lowers their weapons, listening to their chief. But the wolf squad is still on one, not ready to make peace just yet. The wolf leader accuses the goblins of making up divine orders to save their asses. He goes absolutely feral, calling the goblins parasites feeding on his god. Miyako steps up to confirm it's a legit message, but the wolf ain't convinced. And boom, a new wolf girl pops up telling her leader that Miyako's telling the truth. Goblin Chief Linda calls her the World Tree's Oracle, realizing they're not the only ones with a direct line. The wolf leader is still shook, asking his own kid if she can really hear their god. Our boy Sekai realizes he's got a translator on the wolf squad too now. So now the whole turf war is being mediated by two kids in the middle of a standoff. The two translators look up at our boy, confirming they both got the stop fighting memo. Our boy is asking what else he should say now that he's got two open channels. He decides to broadcast through both of them at once, making them hold hands for a stronger signal. The kids tell everyone the world tree belongs to no one, so they better learn to share. The wolf leader finally cracks a smile, realizing both kids are saying the exact same thing. The wolf leader finally accepts that the tree god is talking to everyone, not just him. The two leaders squash the beef, realizing they were both being territorial idiots. The wolf clan gets the grand tour before the official peace treaty meeting. And just like that, the two leaders are already drinking buddies. That was fast. The wolf leader decides his whole clan is moving in, making this a joint operation. The rest of the wolf squad is hyped to team up and protect their leafy landlord. The whole village is celebrating the new alliance. My man's tenant list just doubled. Of course, they celebrate the new alliance with another massive rager at his roots. My man's village just got a DLC update, adding the whole werewolf clan to the roster. Our boy names the wolf leader Wolf and his translator daughter Mimiko. The goblin chief offers a radish, but the wolf leader is like, hell no, we're carnivores. The wolves are natural-born hunters, so they'll just handle the grocery shopping themselves. The wolf squad is now the village's official meat supplier, and the goblins are loving it. So they've got a system. Wolves hunt, goblins build, a perfect little society. Even the Spider Queen is contributing, knitting custom clothes for the whole village. Winter hits, and even the werewolves are bundling up against the cold. The village is thriving, a whole multi-species community living under our boy. And just when you think the whole crew is here, the slimes decide to show up. The king slime himself pulls up with his crew for their daily watering duty. The goblin chief and wolf leader are just staring, realizing there's another crew in town. The king slime is just as confused as everyone else, asking what's up with the new village. And boom, the king slime evolves into a full-on slime queen introducing herself. The goblin chief and wolf leader are completely stunned, recognizing the OG watering crew. The new slime queen confirms she's the mom of the little slimes they've been seeing. The goblin chief immediately tells his squad to show some respect and welcome their guest. The wolf leader apologizes, realizing she's one of the original followers of their tree god. We get a quick lore drop. She ate the fruit and evolved into her current slime girl form. The goblin chief is already simping, giving the new slime queen the name Catherine. The goblin chief sits down with the slime queen to ask what her business is here. The slime queen just asks to move in, and the goblin chief immediately agrees to it. The slime queen explains her crew can purify poison, basically acting as the village's new hazmat team. And just like that, the slime squad is on cleanup duty, eating all the village trash. The goblin chief built the slime queen a whole-ass house, and my man is definitely simping. The muscle Gonzalez is already inviting the new slime queen on a fishing date. The slime queen is living her best life, and the village just added a whole new faction. And the peace is over. Some psycho is watching the village through a sniper scope. It's the merchant's guards, but they're about to get jumped by some new sketchy dudes. The guards get ambushed by some hooded cultists, and the leader takes a hit for his girl. The guard captain realizes these clowns are here to try and steal our boy Sekai. The guards are throwing hands with the cultists, who are already busting out dark magic. The guard girl is screaming for them to dip out of there, and fast. The guard captain drops a flashbang to cover their escape. Smart move. They get away, but the captain's hurt and they gotta warn the merchant. The old cult leader is pissed his goons let the guards escape. His boy tells him another crew is already here trying to claim the tree. The cult leader decides it's time to call in the whole squad for a turf war. This old psycho is convinced our boy belongs to him and is ready to prove it. He rallies the troops, telling them to go snatch the tree right now. The cultist army rolls up, but one of them spots something unexpected. They're staring down the entire village, and Goblin Chief Linda looks ready to throw hands. Goblin Chief Linda tells the cult to get lost, but the old psycho is screaming about filthy monsters. The cultists don't even hesitate, they just charge in screaming to get their tree back. The Goblin Chief and Wolf Leader are united, saying our boy doesn't belong to anyone. The cultists are shocked that anyone would dare to fight back against their holy crusade. Goblin Chief Linda gives the order, and the Orc Lord Olg is ready to enforce it. The village's front line, led by the Muscle and the Orc Lord, charges into battle. The cultists are already panicking, realizing they're fighting a damn high orc. The Wolf Squad joins the party, and one of the cultists gets absolutely mauled. Even the Slime Queen is getting in on the action, blasting a cultist with a water jet. The Orc Lord Olg goes full Beyblade and just clears out a whole group of cultists. The old psycho is screaming for a retreat, realizing his goons just got folded. The whole village squad is celebrating the W after running the cult's pockets. The translator Miyako greets the crew, and the chief says their landlord wants a word. Our boy Sakai sends a thank you message for protecting him from those weirdos. Goblin Chief Linda is just like, of course we ride for our god. The chief credits our boy's early warning for their quick victory. One of the cultists is down, realizing they messed with the wrong damn church. But someone's not ready to give up just yet. The plot thickens. And look who it is. The OG priest and his crew are pulling up to the village. The chief is ready to throw hands again, but our boy tells him these humans are cool. The priest is telling the goblin squad to chill. He's not here for a fight. He explains that our boy saved his life too, trying to prove he's on their side. Goblin Chief Linda is still skeptical, but the priest's crew insists they're allies. The merchant points out the do not chop signs he put up ages ago as proof. He explains he's been running private security for our boy this whole time. The Goblin Chief is shook, realizing these humans were their secret guardian angels. Goblin Chief Linda admits he just assumed all humans were hostile. Fair enough. The injured guard captain shows his battle scars as proof they fought the same cult. We get a reminder of the psycho cult that's obsessed with kidnapping our boy. The guard captain warns them the cult is coming back with a bigger army for round 2. The OG priest pitches a full-on alliance, saying they all want to protect our boy. The Goblin Chief actually agrees, realizing they're all on the same side for once. The merchant's boy pulls out a bag, ready to sweeten the deal for the village. He hands over a bag of spices, and the chief is looking at it like it's alien tech. The kid explains monsters can't trade in town, so this is their only shot at an economy. The merchant steps in, offering to be the village's official trade route to the human world. The wolf leader asks what's in it for them, and the merchant says their hunting skills are bank. My man's basically offering to turn their hunting spoils into cold, hard cash. He then points out the goblin's divine vegetable garden is another untapped gold mine. Even the slimes get a business proposal, selling their purified water like it's Fiji. The slime queen explains her purified water is basically a luxury good for humans. The spider queen flexes her premium silk, adding another high-ticket item to the catalog. Goblin Chief Linda shakes on it, officially starting the village's first international trade deal. The merchant invites them over to his place to finalize the details like a true businessman. The new business partners are heading to the chief's crib for the official meeting. The chief introduces the merchant to Miyako, the official divine translator on payroll. The merchant looks up at our boy, thanking him for the glow-up that started his career. My man's getting all emotional, saying he owes his whole success to our leafy landlord. Our boy Sekai hits back like, "Nah, you've already done more than enough for me." The guard captain apologizes for getting folded, but our boy is just grateful for the sign. The guard captain is losing his mind after our boy instantly healed his wounds. The merchant asks our boy if he's a damn prophet who planned this whole alliance. He's breaking down the new economy. They trade, the village protects, our boy profits. The merchant admits he's just a humble businessman who got lucky, not some mastermind. And just like that, the village's first international trade deal is officially underway. The merchant even leaves some of his guards behind as permanent ambassadors. Now the village is getting regular supply drops, basically Amazon Prime for monsters. The goblins get their hands on spices and immediately level up their cooking skill tree. He also hooks them up with real tools, and the goblins are absolutely losing it. The whole crew is flexing their new gear, a major upgrade from their old stick-and-stone setup. The goblins are comparing their old stone axes to the new steel ones from the merchant. The Muscle Gonzalez tries human booze for the first time and is absolutely losing his mind. The merchant's new trade route has the whole village day drinking like it's a festival. And after a multi-year time skip, the village is still vibing under our boy. My man's had a glow up. He's now a legit titan with a whole city at his base. Our boy's finally feeling himself, realizing he's not just big, he's got presence. He's even starting to believe his own hype, thinking he's got that divine energy. My man is now officially the biggest landmark in the entire damn forest. He's even wondering if he's leveled up to the biggest tree in the whole world. And his little village has grown into a full-blown town with a booming economy. Our boy's influence is so strong the whole damn forest is expanding around him. He's wondering if he's just leaking pure growth energy at this point. My man was worried about deforestation, but he's actually making the forest bigger. The whole area is now officially on the map as the Great Forest of Leggiano. Apparently it's named after a legendary dragon, but the lore is a little fuzzy. And hold up, Goblin Chief Linda and the translator Miyako got married. They even had a kid named York, the village's first hybrid baby. Turns out they were in love the whole time, despite the whole age gap thing. The goblin hunter Benjamin got so wasted at the wedding he went streaking. Goblin Chief Linda is still the respected leader. Even with everyone jealous, he married up. The Muscle Gonzalez and Henri had kids, and he's already in proud dad mode. Their twin kids are already asking for clubs to go bonk people with. A real chip off the old block. The whole family is basically the village's celebrity squad at this point. And the goblin hunter Benjamin is talking to his new partner, who is a surprise. My man Benjamin is screaming his heart out, looks like a full-on confession, and he married the wolf translator Mimiko. This village is just one big dating pool. Our boy is just processing that they've created a whole new hybrid species. Their new goblin-wolf hybrid kid, Emerald, is just chilling in his crib. Even the wolf leader Wolf got a wife and is training his son to take over. And the camera pans over to the bushes, hinting the Spider Clan is up to something. The Spider Queen's kids are basically little spiky puffballs on patrol duty. They're zipping around the forest, acting as the village's early warning system. Meanwhile, the Orc Lord Olg is proud of how much his clan has grown. My man Olg even found himself a wife and started a whole orc family. The whole orc population is now up to 15, a proper squad. Olg is on guard duty with his family when our boy Sekai starts acting up. Our boy starts shaking like crazy and the whole village is freaking out. The whole crew is just staring up, wondering what the hell is happening. And boom, our boy erupts in a massive pillar of holy light. A new squad of elves shows up saying the world tree has been reborn. The new elf squad is already doing some weird cult shit with giant magic circles. Goblin Chief Linda and the wolf leader are freaking out as the elves start glowing. The elf leader starts screaming about purging the ignorant monsters from her god. And just like that, the elf squad unleashes a whole-ass magical tornado. The elf leader is screaming for the parasites to be wiped out. Damn, that's harsh. Our boy Sekai tells them to chill, and the elf leader looks shook that he talked back. And just like that, their massive nuke spell just fizzles out into nothing. The elf leader is now simping, asking if that was really the world tree's voice. The whole elf squad is crying tears of joy, saying they're the chosen ones. Our boy realizes he's got another group of translators on the payroll now. Our boy Sekai tells the new elf cult to shut down their whole operation, and fast. The elf squad is completely stunned that their god just told them to knock it off. The elf leader is still trying to call the village residents filthy beasts. Old habits die hard. Our boy tells her to chill, explaining that everyone already lives here and pays rent. He then declares the entire village his official crew, so they better learn to get along. The elf leader is blushing, realizing she just got put in her place by her own god. The whole elf squad starts marching over to the village for a very awkward meet and greet. The elf leader formally apologizes to Goblin Chief Linda for the whole monster incident. Miyako asks what their deal is, and the elf says our boy has some questions for them. She drops a lore bomb. The last world tree is dead, and our boy is the new one. Our boy Sekai is having an existential crisis, realizing he's a replacement model. The elf leader explains they were shocked to find a whole city at his roots. She says her whole squad has been on a pilgrimage to find the new world tree. The elf leader drops the name of the OG tree, Yggdrasil, who apparently just kicked the bucket. Our boy is still stuck on the fact that the previous world tree is actually dead. He asks if there are a bunch of world trees, and the elves look at him like he's an idiot. The elf leader clarifies there's only one, and he's the new top dog. She explains that since the old one withered away, our boy is now the biggest tree in the world. My man immediately thinks he's a murderer for outgrowing the last guy. He's confused why the goblins called him the world tree before the old one even died. The elf leader explains the goblins just had prophetic foresight, calling his promotion early. Our boy is still feeling guilty, thinking he's the reason the last world tree died. The elf leader tells him to get over it, saying it's just the circle of life for trees. She clarifies it's a natural cycle. A new world tree spawns, the old one just fades out. The elf leader and her whole squad bow, officially asking to join the village. Our boy asks the chief if he's cool with the elves moving in after that whole tornado incident. Our boy just sends out a mass text telling everyone to play nice and get along. And just like that, the elf squad is officially part of the village. Crisis averted. The village now has a dedicated lore department since these elves know all the secrets. The elf leader starts introducing her main squad, giving us more names to remember. Our boy is getting the elf squad's intros, but all their names sound the same. He's realizing all the elves look like they were made with the same character creator. Turns out the new elf squad are all certified magic users, which is a nice upgrade. The elf leader admits she was worried about vibing with the monster races at first, but they immediately started making themselves useful, like being a living lighter. The goblin chief and wolf leader are losing their minds over the magic fire starter. They're using magic for everything from drying laundry to making a damn icebox. The village is now facing a housing crisis because the whole elf clan moved in. Goblin Chief Linda offers them the community center while they figure out construction. But the chief explains that building a whole new suburb is going to take some time. The elf leader asks our boy if he can just build them a house with his tree magic. She's looking at him with puppy dog eyes, asking him to lend them his power. Our boy Sekai is internally panicking, having no clue how to do any of that. My man's like, the best I can do is drop some branches for you. The elf leader is shocked, asking if he's really unaware of his own abilities. She explains the last world tree could just spawn buildings like it was Minecraft. Our boy is still clueless, asking how the hell he's supposed to do that. The elf leader explains the OG tree could just shapeshift its roots into stuff. She clarifies that the old tree could literally grow entire houses from its roots. Our boy finally has a light bulb moment, realizing he's had that power all along. Our boy Sekai remembers he's been spawning a whole farmer's market for a while now. He's wondering if he can level up from making vegetables to actual construction. My man's like, screw it, let's try, and starts focusing his root powers. His roots start popping out of the ground and morphing into a whole new shape. And just like that, he spawns a whole-ass cabin out of thin air. The goblin chief is losing his mind, calling it another divine miracle from their landlord. But the brand new house is already starting to creak and fall apart. And the whole thing just collapses into a pile of firewood. Well, that was a bust. The elf leader explains he's still a noob and needs to grind his construction skill. Our boy realizes he's just got a new skill tree to max out. Let the grind begin. Our boy's having a revelation, realizing his imagination is the only limit to his new powers. Goblin Chief Linda is apologizing for the house collapsing, thinking it's his fault. My man is too pure. The chief says it's not a total L, they can just reuse the wood he dropped for them. So our boy tries again, this time just spawning raw materials for them to work with. The chief is still a bit skeptical, but he's willing to give our boy's DIY project another shot. The elf leader is just happy they've got a divine lumberyard to work with now. So our boy just starts spawning a whole Home Depot's worth of lumber for the goblins. A few hours later, the goblins and elves have already built a whole new subdivision. Our boy is finally getting the hang of it, building literal tree houses for the crew. And just like that, he's maxed out his construction skill, spawning perfect houses on command. The new elf crib is looking fresh, and they're calling our boy a god-tier architect. The elf leader thanks everyone, then immediately asks where the damn bath is. The other elves have no clue what a bath is, and she's having a full-on meltdown. They're arguing about bathing in the river, and the elf leader is disgusted by their hygiene. She's now begging our boy Sekai to build a whole-ass spa for the village. Our boy's like fine and starts spawning lumber for their new bathhouse project. The goblins and elves are working together, with the elves on design and the goblins on labor. The elf squad is using magic for the heavy lifting and even heating the water. And just like that, they've built a 5-star Japanese onsen in a few hours. Wolf Leader Wolf is blushing hard, looking like he just walked in on someone. The goblin chief and wolf leader are feeling a little weird about this whole indoor bath situation. The elf leader is selling them on the spa life, promising it's better than a river. They've even got the classic bamboo fountain for that authentic onsen experience. And they've got the sake ready for the full relaxation package. The chief and the wolf leader are having a full-on bro moment in the hot springs. The elf leader is also vibing, and the chief is giving her props for the idea. She's acting all smug, saying this is just standard elf culture. And then she realizes they're all in the same bath and immediately loses her mind. She just yeets both leaders out of the water for breaking unspoken bathhouse rules. So now they have separate baths, but our boy also made a mixed one for the couples. Our boy Sekai is watching everyone in the onsen, wishing he could join the party. He's just laughing to himself, watching his little village thrive under the moonlight. The whole village is just vibing peacefully for the first time in a long time. And the elf squad is rolling up for their turn in the new bathhouse. The elf leader thanks our boy for lending them his power to build the spa. She's telling him to rest up after all that work, leaving a little offering. Our boy is just chilling, feeling completely refreshed by the whole experience. The next morning, my man is feeling the magical hangover from all that construction. The elf leader explains to the chief that our boy's powers aren't infinite. They drain his brain. She clarifies that building houses is way more taxing than just growing vegetables. Our boy Sekai is feeling a little deflated after all that magical construction. He decides to chill on the god-tier building until he gets the hang of it. But the new elf squad brought a housewarming gift, some premium elf booze. The chief and the wolf leader are getting absolutely wasted on the new stuff. The slime queen drops the lore that this wine is basically a fantasy aphrodisiac. And just like that, the whole village leadership is having another rager. Our boy decides to do a quick census on his ever-expanding tenant list. My man's village is now a full-on city with a damn UI screen breaking it down. Even the human guards are fully integrated, just chilling with their new goblin bros. But the Spider Queen is being all mysterious, hinting her crew has their own agenda. The Spider Queen's clan is living in the penthouse, staying out of the ground-level drama. Our boy is literally sweating fruit, probably worried about his 8-legged tenants. But the Spider Queen is still the village's fashion designer, so they're cool for now. Turns out the spiders are nocturnal, so they only show up for the holiday ragers. And speaking of parties, our boy notices some new weirdness going on. The new elf squad has started a nightly prayer circle, and our boy is weirded out. So our boy asks them what the hell they're praying for so damn hard. The elf leader drops a lore bomb. His growth is literally powered by their faith. He realizes their prayers are basically a direct XP boost for his tree ass. My man has a flashback, realizing everyone's gratitude has been leveling him up this whole time. The elf leader says he's got enough faith juice now to show them his true form. Our boy is just confused, like, my true form? I'm a damn tree, what do you want? She drops the bomb that he can make a whole-ass human avatar with all that prayer power. My man's brain is buffering, realizing he might actually get to walk around again. The elf leader is hyping him up, telling him to show them his real self. We get another lore drop. The more followers he has, the more OP he gets. The elf leader is basically telling him he can perform actual miracles with their faith. She's like, we've been praying for days, you should be fully charged by now. She confirms he can build a whole new body and finally leave his roots behind. Our boy is hyped but has no clue how to actually start the character creation process. The elf leader is giving our boy the step-by-step guide to building his own body. Our boy is having a moral crisis, wondering if this counts as playing God. She's like, nah, the last world tree did it all the time, you're good. So he says screw it and starts spawning a little root nub from the ground. The whole elf squad is watching in awe as he starts the avatar creation process. And boom, he's got a blank wooden mannequin lying on the ground, version 1.0. My man's realizing he can even add the fine details to his new puppet body. He's having a moment, realizing his powers go way beyond farming and construction. Our boy is thinking he could make some real nightmare fuel with this new ability. He remembers his old nerdy body and decides he's getting a full-on glow-up. Our boy realizes he's the only Japanese dude here, so he's got to represent. He immediately changes his mind, deciding he'd rather just look cool instead. My man is scrolling through his old RPG character builds for some design inspiration. He decides to add some elf features to the mix, looking at his new cult for reference. And boom, he's got a blank elf boy avatar looking like a damn Ken doll. Our boy is admiring his handiwork from his tree god point of view. He immediately thinks his new body looks like a damn corpse, off to a great start. But the elf squad is already simping over his new lifeless puppet body. The elf leader tells him the next step is to actually possess his new meat suit. She's telling him to pour all his magic and faith into the new vessel to bring it to life. Our boy Sakai starts downloading his consciousness from the main server into his new avatar. The soul beam is locking onto the target, ready to install the new operating system. And boom, the transfer is complete, jolting his new meat suit to life. My man opens his eyes for the first time, already blushing from the sensory overload. The elf squad is losing their minds as our boy's new body finally sits up. He's just staring at his own hand, realizing he's got a working body again. My man is screaming his head off, hyped that he's finally free from his roots. The elf leader is simping hard, fangirling over his new look and his tragic backstory. The Muscle Gonzalez and wolf leader Wolf roll up, wondering who's making all that noise. Our boy is just having a moment, realizing he can finally walk after all this time. Our boy asks for a mirror, gotta check out the new character model he just built. My man is absolutely feeling himself, realizing he's a certified pretty boy now. He's already got a whole bucket list, starting with food, books, and travel. But first, he's finally getting to use that onsen he was so damn jealous of. The muscle and the wolf leader are just stunned, trying to process the glow-up. Our boy tries to introduce himself, but he's still rocking his birthday suit. The Muscle Gonzalez is giving him a serious look, like he's about to judge his build. Our boy is panicking, realizing he's not exactly built like a tank anymore. But the muscle just grabs him and declares it's time for another village-wide party. Our boy tries to act modest, but he knows these guys will find any excuse to rage. The elf leader is simping hard, announcing their god finally dropped his physical copy. The whole crew is hyped to finally hear their landlord's voice without a translator. And the Muscle Gonzalez is leading the charge for his official welcome party. Of course, they celebrate his new body with another massive rager at his roots. The whole squad is getting absolutely wasted, celebrating their god's new meat suit. One of the elves asks if he drinks, and my man is ready to get lit. Our boy is just happy he can finally drink with his tenants like a normal person. He admits getting watered with booze was cool, but this hits different. The elf girls are telling him to live it up now that he's finally got a body. Then an elf kid asks his name, and our boy realizes he's been anonymous this whole time. The elf girl says calling him World Tree all the time is a mouthful. Our boy remembers his old name from Japan was Kotoba Sakai. He's overthinking it, worried his Japanese name will sound weird here. My man just shortens it to Sakai, making his new gamertag official. The elf squad is already simping over his new name. The elf leader is memorizing his name like it's a damn holy scripture. Our boy is finally having a proper chat with the chief and his family. My man is getting emotional, feeling like he's finally home after all this time. He's feeling the love, realizing this whole village is his found family. And after the party, he's finally hitting up that onsen he built. Our boy Sakai is finally soaking in the onsen he built, living his best life. He's getting emotional, realizing it's been years since he's actually had a bath. My man is just vibing in the hot water, feeling completely at peace. He's feeling spiritually cleansed, confirming that baths are peak civilization. He hears someone coming and thinks it's the chief, probably for a bro soak. And nope, it's the entire elf girl squad rolling up for their turn. The elf leader asks if this is the men's bath, playing dumb with her whole crew. They're like, "It's cool, we reserved it for you," and call him a kid. My man is panicking. The elf leader offers to wash his back, and the whole cult is ready to serve. Our boy is surrounded by his new elf harem and is having a full-blown system meltdown. Our boy is trying to escape, but the elf squad is demanding to wash his back. The elf girls are already giving him the full spa treatment, and my man is blushing hard. The elf leader asks why he's so stiff, completely oblivious to the situation. She thinks it's just because he was a tree for years. Yeah, let's go with that. Another elf steps in, claiming she's a massage expert who starts with the feet. My man lets out a world-ending scream as she grabs his foot. The elf squad is now torturing his feet, and our boy is not having a good time. The elf leader is getting way too into this massage session. They literally yeet him out of the onsen and onto the damn roof. Our boy admits the elf massage was good, even if it was a near-death experience. Our boy is still recovering from that elf massage, but he's already asking for round 2. The elf leader points out our boy is homeless and tells him to just build a crib. And the whole elf cult pulls up, saying they're here to solve his housing crisis. She offers him a room, but my man is not ready for that elf harem life just yet. Our boy remembers he's a literal god and can just spawn a mansion on demand. The elf leader is gassing him up, telling him to build a whole-ass palace this time. My man's having a moment, realizing if he can build a body, a house is nothing. He's figuring out that every time he uses his powers, he's just grinding XP. Our boy is already complaining about having to log back into his tree account to build. And boom, he realizes he can just control his roots remotely like a damn drone. Our boy is figuring out his powers run on faith, not his actual tree body. He's realizing if it cost him actual wood, he'd have shrunk to a twig by now. But my man's only gotten bigger, so the power source is definitely external. So he confirms the construction cost is just the faith his followers are feeding him. My man's wondering if he can use his powers directly from his new avatar. He decides to test out his new remote control powers in front of the crew. Our boy is channeling his inner avatar, ready to do some earthbending. And holy shit, he's literally sprouting branches from his damn hands now. My man's ready to push the limits and see what this new skill can really do. The elf leader is just hoping he doesn't build another house that collapses instantly. Our boy Sekai confirms his avatar doesn't shrink when he builds, so the power is definitely external. He's weaving roots together like a damn 3D printer, building a whole new crib from scratch. And just like that, he spawns a whole-ass mansion. The elf squad is losing their minds. My man is completely gassed after that, collapsing right into the elf leader's lap. The muscle and the wolf leader are on it, ready to do the official building inspection. Our boy admits that building a whole mansion drained his faith battery pretty hard. He's telling the crew he just needs a nap to recharge his divine energy. The elf leader points out that his new body is a massive faith booster for the village. Our boy realizes talking face-to-face is way more effective than using translators. The wolf leader confirms the new crib is solid, and he can feel our boy's power leveling up. The muscle and wolf give Sekai the all-clear to enter. Sekai welcomes the elf squad into his crib. Sekai's relieved he can finally sleep without worrying about collapsing houses. Elf leader and her squad are ready to simp for Sekai 24/7. Sekai's questioning the elves' living arrangements. This is gonna be weird. Elf leader explains they always lived with the previous world tree. Alabama much? Elf leader assures Sekai his mansion has plenty of room for her squad. The elves offer to be Sekai's maids. This is getting weirder by the second. Sekai's wondering why they're all up in his business when they have homes. The elves decide to move into Sekai's mansion anyway. This dude can't catch a break. The elf leader hits him with the puppy dog eyes, asking if it's really a problem. Our boy Sekai is already folding, admitting he can't say no when she's like this. He gives them the all clear, and the whole elf squad is celebrating the W. My man tries to dip out to his room, but the elf cult is watching his every move. He slides the door shut, thinking he's finally got some damn privacy. And nope, the entire elf squad followed him in, ready for a sleepover. The elf leader says they were just worried he'd be lonely sleeping alone. Our boy is losing his mind, telling his new harem to get the hell out. But she flips it on him, saying, they'll be lonely without their god. She's full-on begging, claiming they literally can't sleep without him. Our boy Sekai caves, but he's still begging for some personal space. He's trying to explain that he can't just have a sleepover with his whole cult. The elf leader is like, okay, baby steps, Nam, and you know this is going to be a problem. Her idea of a compromise is starting with a hug. This girl does not quit. She just goes for it, and my man is having a full-on system error. Then she hits him with the goodnight kiss on the cheek. Bro is experiencing human contact for the first time. Some time passes and the village is now crawling with even more elves. But the new elf squad is vegetarian, and they're about to cause a famine. The elf leader, Ira, suggests they just build a whole-ass farm to fix it. Our boy Sekai just agrees, ready to start his new life as a fantasy farmer. Our boy Sekai is looking at the goblin's farm, basically calling it amateur hour. He admits he was just winging it with his creation powers back in the day. Now that he's maxed his skills, he's ready to build a full-on Stardew Valley farm. My man's also planning to expand his menu beyond basic earth vegetables. Thanks to the merchant, he's got a whole new catalog of fantasy crops to grow. So our boy is about to go full-on divine farmer with the crew watching. He's laying out a whole industrial farm complex with his mind palace. And just like that, the whole village is about to be swimming in vegetables. He even built custom greenhouses with tips from his new elf lore department. The elf leader Ira tells him they can just fast forward the harvest, easy mode. The elf leader Era pulls out a bottle of nightmare fuel, calling it elf fertilizer. Our boy asks if it's safe and she says it won't ruin the taste. That's not reassuring. My man is still sketched out but worries they're wasting a rare item on him. She tells him they can just make more, and our boy's brain just short circuits. He finally connects the dots, realizing his own powers are the cheat code here. Turns out our boy can just spawn this sketchy worm juice on command now. So our boy is ready to play God with this new farming tech. He puts his hands on the bottle and starts charging it up with his divine energy. And boom, the worm bottle goes into overdrive. My man looks absolutely terrified. She tells him to pour the activated nightmare fuel into a bucket for the fields. The elf leader Era and our boy are spreading the magic fertilizer around. Our boy is already planning to sell the surplus veggies through the merchant. My man's finally realizing his creation powers are basically a god mode cheat code. He's finally accepting his new status as the most OP being in this world. Our boy is already thinking of new ways to abuse his god tier powers. And speak of the devil, the merchant is pulling up for a supply run. The merchant is absolutely losing his mind seeing our boy's new physical form. My man is getting gassed up by the merchant, who's ready to simp. The village's export game is strong, with veggies and premium monster booze. Our boy just casually drops that he's now brewing his own brand of wine. The merchant's kid is looking at the new World Tree wine like it's liquid gold. Our boy explains the recipe is literally his own sap and leaves. My man is selling his bathwater. The merchant's kid tries it and confirms it's a banger that cures fatigue. My man's having a religious experience, realizing this stuff is gonna print money. The merchant's crew is loading up the wagon, ready to flood the market with divine booze. And just like that, the new product is on its way to the human world. The merchant is selling this stuff for $100 a bottle. Stonks. He's telling customers it's literally made from a god's body. That's one hell of a sales pitch. And of course, the customer immediately cops a bottle without hesitation. A new girl, Sheena, shows up with a bottle calling out for her dad. Plot thickens. Sheena brings her sick dad a bottle of the new World Tree wine she just copped. My man is on his deathbed saying booze is his only comfort left. He pours a cup and is already impressed by the divine glow of our boy's sap. He's about to drink, but his daughter reminds him the doctor said to chill. He takes one sip and immediately gets a full-on Dragon Ball Z power-up. The dude is feeling completely revitalized after one drink of our boy's juice. The doctor is losing his mind, realizing the terminal illness is just gone. The dad is now ripped and healthy, confirming our boy's wine is a damn elixir. He's thanking his daughter for bringing him the miracle cure in a bottle. Back at the shop, the merchant is shook, hearing his new product is a literal cure-all. The daughter and her now buff dad are thanking the merchant for the glow-up juice. The merchant is panicking, realizing he's selling holy water and needs to tell our boy. The merchant's kid is hauling ass back to the village to deliver the news. The merchant is back, showing our boy the bottle like it's a damn nuke. Our boy Sekai is just like, so what? Curing people is a good thing, dumbass. The merchant is still sweating, but our boy gives him the green light to keep selling. With our boy's blessing, the merchant decides to go full-on pharma-bro with the wine. My man is on a stage selling his new miracle cure to the whole damn town. Now adventurers are chugging it like a health potion that also gets you wasted. And just like that, our boy's bathwater wine is the hottest product on the market. And just like that, our boy's bathwater wine becomes a legendary elixir. Meanwhile, some new dwarf squad is getting hooked on the divine booze. The lead dwarf decides they're gonna go straight to the source. Oh boy. Back at the village, our boy Sakai is doing his nightly warehouse check. My man immediately senses that something is off with the warehouse door. And he catches the dwarf squad red-handed, stealing his entire damn inventory. Our boy Sakai rolls up on them, demanding to know who the hell they are. The lead dwarf just laughs in his face like he's not committing a felony. He tells our boy to be honored that dwarves are stealing his expensive wine. Our boy is just flustered, not used to dealing with such arrogant thieves. Our boy Sekai tries to explain he's the landlord and the dwarves are not impressed. The lead dwarf just laughs it off, saying the wine was too good to pass up. And just like that, the thieves are now his drinking buddies. My man has no backbone. Our boy is just now realizing these drunk old men are a whole new fantasy race. He's confirming the stereotype that dwarves are just professional alcoholics. The merchant's kid is panicking because the dwarves drank the entire damn stock. The lead dwarf gives a half-assed apology, already planning his payment. He offers to pay them back in labor by making them some tools. A fair trade. The whole dwarf squad is now demanding a forge like they own the place. And just like that, the village is getting a full-on blacksmithing upgrade. The lead dwarf is telling all the amateurs to step back. It's time for the pros to cook. My man gets the forge roaring with a single dramatic whoosh of his tool. Wolf Leader Wolf is absolutely stunned by the brand new high-end forge. And they've got a whole damn silo of premium fuel to get the job done. The dwarves are already hammering away, and the merchant's kid is shook by their tools. The lead dwarf proudly shows off the new battle axe like a proud dad. The dwarf squad presents their masterpiece to the merchant's kid as payment. The merchant's kid is losing his mind, saying the quality is leagues above his own stock. Our boy Sekai tests out an axe, surprised at how light and balanced it is. The lead dwarf is feeling himself, asking what other legendary gear they want him to craft. The lead dwarf is flexing his crafting menu from swords to damn watering cans. The merchant's kid is losing it, as the dwarf asks if they're cool now. The merchant's kid is already calculating the resale value of a damn shovel. The goblin blacksmith is begging the lead dwarf for a masterclass in smithing. But the lead dwarf hits them with the no booze, no work clause. The muscle Gonzalez is like, say less, and points to the nearest barrel. The muscle just declares it's time for another village-wide drinking party. Our boy Sakai just writes off the whole felony as a misunderstanding. The muscle is showing off his new buster sword, calling it a fair trade. So of course they throw a welcome party for the thieves they just caught. The lead dwarf, Readoki, is already wasted and feeling good about his life choices. Wolf leader. Wolf is already trying to recruit the thieves to move in. This village has no standards. Readoki is shook, admitting they were homeless and just looking for a place to crash. Wolf is giving them the hard sell, saying their blacksmithing skills are a huge asset. Our boy Sekai gives the official thumbs up, welcoming the new crew to the village. Readoki is getting emotional, feeling guilty for stealing from such a welcoming bunch. And just like that, the dwarves declare this their new home. That was fast. Our boy Sekai offers the dwarf leader one of his magic apples as a welcome gift. Readoki is blushing hard, accepting the fruit like it's a damn engagement ring. And boom, 15 more tenants just got added to the roster. The village is a metropolis now. The whole village is cool with the dwarves now that they've got new tools. The muscle Gonzalez is in the warehouse, looking like a villain plotting his next drink. With the dwarves on board, the village's alcohol demand is about to skyrocket. Elf leader Era is having a panic attack, saying their security is absolute trash. Our boy Sekai is like, chill. I thought our wolf and goblin squads were solid. He then remembers the dwarf squad just waltzed in and stole everything. Fair point. Era explains that since he's the new world tree, they've got a massive target on their back. She drops the lore that everyone and their mom tried to raid the last world tree. Era is telling our boy they need to level up their defenses before they get rolled. Her solution is to just build a whole-ass golem army. Casual. Era explains that golem making is a lost art, basically ancient tech. Our boy Sekai asks if she knows the recipe, and she's looking way too smug. She hits him with the, of course I do, revealing the elves have a secret family recipe. My man is immediately sold on the idea, ready to start their new DIY project. And just like that, the whole village is on a field trip to gather golem parts. Step 1 of the IKEA instructions is to build the body out of a giant rock. Our boy Sekai just starts spawning massive boulders with his creation powers. Easy. The muscle and the goblins are on assembly duty, putting the rock man together. They're using clay as the glue to hold their new rock monster together. The elf squad steps in to carve the magic runes and finish the job. Era reveals the final ingredient is one of our boy's magic apples, the golem's power core. Our boy Sakai stands before the fully assembled rock monster, ready for the magic show. Elf leader Era is way too excited to finally play Frankenstein with their new rock boy. She starts chanting the magic words, looking like she's having a religious experience. And boom, the magic circle lights up and the golem starts its boot-up sequence. The whole thing starts cracking and shifting as it finally comes to life. Our boy Sekai is losing his mind, impressed that the big-ass rock can actually move. The muscle and Readoki are already talking about pimping out their new security guard with armor. Era and her elf squad are relieved they finally have some decent security for once. Wolf leader Wolf is already planning to take the new rock monster on a hunting trip. Our boy's village now has a whole-ass golem security force on payroll. The new rock boys are already on manual labor duty, no breaks needed. Wolf leader Wolf is rolling with his new rock-hard partner on the night shift. And our boy's village just got a patch update unlocking dwarves and golems.